I get it, you're staring at the coffee aisle, scrolling through endless espresso machines, and the thought that you might end up with a countertop that looks great but never actually brews the kind of coffee you crave keeps you up at night. You've probably asked yourself, will this thing actually let me pull a consistent shot without spending a fortune on barista training? And what if I'm just buying a glorified kettle that'll end up gathering dust? Before you decide, let me walk you through why the Rancilio Silvia with PID might be the sweet spot for a serious home brewer, and when it's better to keep looking. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Silvia isn't a beginner's toy, but it also isn't the industrial beast you'd find in a coffee shop. Think of it as the bridge between a plug-and-play pod machine and a full-size commercial espresso rig. The main draw here is the PID temperature controller. In plain English, that means the boiler holds its temperature within a tight band, so you're not constantly guessing whether a 93-degree shot is actually that temperature or a few degrees off. In my own kitchen experiments, that stability made the difference between a shot that tasted bright and one that tasted flat, especially after the machine has been running for a while and the ambient temperature shifts. The pre-infusion feature works hand-in-hand with the PID. It gently wets the coffee puck for a couple of seconds before full pressure kicks in, which helps even out extraction. If you've ever pulled a shot that tasted sour in the first half and bitter in the second, you've probably felt the pain of an uneven brew. Pre-infusion on the Silvia smooths that out, and you'll notice it most when you're using a medium-fine grind that tends to clog the basket. It's not a magic button that turns any grind into perfection, but it gives you a wider margin for error while you're dialing in your beans. Now, let's talk about daily usability. The 2-liter boiler is big enough that you can pull a few drinks in a row without waiting for a recovery cycle, but it's still compact enough to sit on a standard countertop without demanding a dedicated space. I've run a morning routine of 2 espresso drinks, a cappuccino, and a quick latte for a guest, and the machine stayed hot enough that the second round didn't need a temperature adjustment. The shot timer on the front panel is a subtle but useful visual cue. It flashes when the shot reaches the typical 25-second mark, letting you see at a glance whether you're under or over-extracting. For someone who's still learning the timing game, that feedback is a real confidence booster. Who should buy this? If you're someone who already owns a good grinder, knows the basics of dosing and tamping, and wants a machine that respects the nuances of those skills, the Silvia is a solid investment. It's especially appealing for home baristas who enjoy tinkering because the prosumer components, like the commercial-grade brass boiler and the ability to backflush the machine, let you maintain it the way a CAF would. Backflushing is a maintenance routine that clears out coffee oils from the group head, extending the life of the machine and keeping flavors pure. If you're comfortable with a bit of routine care, running a cleaning solution through the group head once a week, you'll keep the Silvia tasting like new for years. On the flip side, if you're looking for a set-and-forget solution that requires zero learning curve, you might want to skip the Silvia. The machine doesn't have an auto milk frother or a single-button espresso button. You have to manually start the brew cycle, monitor the timer, and control the steam wand. That hands-on approach is rewarding for many, but it can feel like a chore for anyone who just wants a quick latte without adjusting grind size or watching the clock. Also, the machine lacks a built-in grinder, so you'll need a separate grinder that can produce a consistent fine grind. Pairing it with a quality burr grinder adds to the overall cost, but that's part of the prosumer package. Practical strengths become clearer when you picture a weekend brunch with friends. I set up the Silvia on a small folding table, hooked it up to a portable power strip, and used a portable milk frother to steam milk for cappuccinos. The PID kept the temperature steady even as the room got warmer from the crowd, and the pre-infusion gave each shot a balanced flavor despite the varying beans we tried. The shot timer helped us keep each pull around the same length, so the taste was consistent from the first cup to the last. The machine's stainless steel body also holds up well to the inevitable spills and splatters of a busy kitchen. A practical weakness shows up in the steam performance. The Silvia's steam wand can produce enough pressure for a decent microfoam, but it's not as powerful as the commercial-grade wands you'd find in a CAF. If you're